Welcome back to Business in a Box, where we're talking about making a team task tracker with Coda. So in the last video in this series, we took a look at how we could cross-dock all of our OKR information into our team tracker for reference and just for more information. Now in this video, we're actually going to make that task tracker and also have some different team views. So depending on who you are, you can see it in a little bit of a different way. So let's get started by going to a new page. We're going to call this the All Tasks page, and we can choose an icon, whatever feels nice. Let's see, I think there's a unicorn in here. I'm always a big fan of just choosing fun icons that make me laugh. Not always the most descriptive, but I always have a good time when I'm in my Coda docs. So to each their own. Now what we could do is we could type / and we could choose to make a new table and start from scratch. Or I always like to start my team trackers with a little bit of a template, because that way I don't have to add everything automatically. I can just really work with a starting place and be a lot faster. So I can start typing team, and notice we've got a lot of really helpful team templates that pop on up here. And I'm going to choose team tasks. So now that I have this template, I've got a really good starter place, and I can start to add and adjust based on what's most important to me. So, for example, maybe I really want to have the team that's associated with this particular tracker. So what I could do is go ahead and click on this little plus sign over here. We'll go ahead and make this a lookup column, and we're going to have it look up to that teams table that we pulled in using our cross-dock with the OKRs. So now I've got this drop down and I can very easily see, great, that's from the awesome team, super team, the fantastic team. Let's give the really cool team something to add as well. And we'll say call vendors. Now those of you with sharp eyes probably noticed that assignee automatically showed up with my name. And that's because we've got some nice little options happening here. So here, what this is doing is it's making the value for any new row that's added to be whoever the user is who's logged in. So I'm logged in right now. It's saying, great, Maria Marquis, you're getting that task because you added it. But if you were to log in, it would show your name. So it's a bit of a shorthand. You don't have to have that turned on. You could very easily just say, let's actually turn that off. I don't want to have that at all. And you've got a couple other options here that you can use to really customize this. I personally really like to display the avatar only. I just find that it gives it a little bit more of a cleaner view, kind of just centers it in a really nice way. So we can add the teams. We could also add which one of those OKRs that they're part of, right? So we could go ahead and add another plus sign, and we could make this a lookup column, have it look up to those objectives. And now we've got that as a drop-down menu as well. So we could very quickly add those in here however we want to. So we've got those different lookup columns, but you can also add any other columns that are going to be helpful for your team. So you could add more details, you could add sliders, you could add icons. It's entirely up to you and how you want to do it. So now what we've got going on here is we've got a starter task list. But you can imagine as this task list were to grow, we might want to see it in slightly different ways. So what we can do is we can actually create different views of this table information. So let's go ahead and say not started here, for example. So maybe one of the views that we'd want to make would be for each team. So each team can see their tasks, or each goal. We can see all of the goals associated. Or maybe we want to see all of the tasks that are not started yet, so we can have that approach. So I'm going to go ahead and say, great, let's make a new page. We're going to call this page the Goal 1 Tasks. And now I'm just going to type a little / and I'm going to say we want to have a table, and we're going to choose Display a Table. And here, just like before, I can decide which table do I want to show a view from. In this case, that tasks table is going to make the most sense. So now we've got our tasks table, we can name it, this is Goal 1 Tasks. And now over on the side, we can decide how we want to filter this information. So here, I could say filter, we'll choose add a filter, and in this case, we're going to have it be the objective, and it'll be for Goal 1. And notice that already filters out all that extra information, so we only see the Goal 1 information. So if we're working on this particular goal, we know exactly what's part of it. Really helpful for us. And if you don't like seeing this little top title, I don't like to see the double title personally. You can always just click that little shish kebab over on the side and choose hide the title. Another helpful view that exists is by status. because if you are the project manager, you probably want to know what's not started yet. So what you could do is you could say not started tasks, or if you have a status that's called, that's blocked or needs escalation, you could do the same thing here. So we could do slash, just like before. We're going to choose table, and we're going to choose the tasks table, just like so, and we'll call this not started tasks. And now we'll do the same thing. We're going to do a filter, we're going to add a filter, and we're going to choose status, and if status is not started, that's what we want to see here. So we've got this ability with these views to be able to kind of switch our mindset. Where are we going? What do we care about right now? And you can always just drag and drop those under your all tasks. So you've got a nice little kind of layered list there, which is great. And you can even add icons from over here as well. So we've got all those different options. Now, in this case, these different views allow you to have that ability to really sort what you're looking for. And you can go to those different workspaces. But another option with views is you can also just filter this core table using a control, which is a really valuable way to make a bit of a dashboard for yourself. Also notice with those little sub pages over here, we see them as quick links along the top, which is super helpful. And you can click this shish kebab and change the size. If you want them to be medium, or if you want them to be large. I really actually like large because it creates that kind of button effect. Feels very app-like to me. Just feels good. But follow your heart. Whatever makes you happy makes me happy. So go for it. So let's say that we want to have a good filter here where we can see all of the different people. So let's go ahead and just choose a couple friends to come along for the ride. And what we can do is we could say, you know what, I want to have a filter off of this particular column so I can see all of the tasks by people. So we can go to that drop down, and notice we have a filter menu here as well. And we can add a new filter if we wanted to, or we can create an interactive filter. Ooh. And in this case, I'm going to create a control, and it does all of the magic behind the scenes for me. It has this drop-down menu that's automatically connected with the assignees. Notice it lists all of the names here, and I could say, hey, I want to just see all of Maria Marquis' information or all of Al's. So in this case, I've deselected everybody. I'm not seeing anything. But if I want to see all Maria Marquis' tasks, notice it shows me that just like so. And if I want to see Lauren and Maria's, I could go ahead and select her like that. So it's a way for you to have that control that automatically happens. And you can add this for everything. Maybe we want to do the same thing for status. So we'll choose filter, interactive filter, create a control, and it's automatically going to do that for me right here. Got that all built in, ready to rock. You can do the same thing for teams, objectives, so you have like a full dashboard with all those controls. So what we've done here is we have that core information, those all tasks, but then we've decided what are the questions that we need to answer. We need to know what are all the goal tasks, what are the statuses, who's working on what. And we've created different views by either creating separate views over here with those pages or from these different control drop-down menus to help us answer those questions as we go throughout our day. So with that, give it a try. First add all your tasks and then start playing, and I'll see you next time.